What brilliant eyebrow trick did Vanessa Morgan learn from Auntie Madeleine? What common household item does Camila Mendes swear by for battling puffy eyes? And what controversial opinion does Madeleine Petsch have when it comes to using a beauty blender? Hi, I'm Janet. Let's get into it. Vanessa Morgan. Tony Topaz is Riverdale's Pretty Poison's leader, a fierce river vixen, and of course, Cheryl Blossom's second half. It's safe to say that both girls are absolutely gorgeous, both on and off screen. Vanessa Morgan, who plays Tony in the show, recently revealed a genius beauty trick that she got from none other than Madeleine Petsch. But more on Madeleine's other beauty tips later. Back to the trick. Vanessa likes to spray hairspray onto an eyebrow brush before combing through them. This way, they stay in place the entire day, regardless of spending most of it under the harsh lights of a TV set. Speaking of being on set, Vanessa said that spending so much time in makeup can sometimes clog her pores. To combat this, she has a strict skincare routine that she follows to stay fresh and dewy and keep the breakouts away. Her most important steps include cleansing, toning, and applying serums. Vanessa absolutely loves serums. Whether it's a pore and wrinkle serum or a skin-correcting serum, she says it's always important to focus on good and well-known brands. Even though the goal of Vanessa's skincare routine is to keep her skin blemish-free, this isn't always possible, especially with the stress of daily life. In the event of a breakout, Vanessa's best advice is to immediately dry out your harshest spots and never, ever pick at it. From personal experience, the actress said it's so much easier covering up a spot with makeup when it hasn't been messed with. And of course, the last and most important step to her skincare routine is sunscreen. She never leaves home without it. Before we go on, how about taking a moment to subscribe? And don't forget to press the bell so you don't miss any new uploads from the catcher, KJ Apa. Just because he's a manly man doesn't mean KJ Apa doesn't have a few health and grooming tricks up his sleeve, especially since Archie tends to spend a lot of his time on screen without a shirt. It's important for KJ to stay lean and fit. So what is his secret to getting a good physique? According to KJ, it's quite a boring answer: exercise and eat right. Even though this is his best advice, KJ says he still struggles when it comes to cutting out junk food. Because of this, he exercises twice a day so that he can eat what he wants.
Pretty brutal. He has to get in outrageous shape pretty much year-round for all the roles that he's doing. So
he's gonna kill me today.
yeah.
KJ also stays away from any products that promise to aid in either weight loss or building muscle. When it comes to fueling his body for workouts, he likes to keep it natural.
I like to work out a lot, and I like to keep my diet regularly pretty clean. This is killing you, isn't it, Sound? It's fine. You can handle it.
As for his skin, his biggest secret to clear skin actually came from his mother, who still forces him to take a zinc tablet every day. And of course, there's moisturizer. As a product, KJ says it's so important to him because he himself doesn't wear any makeup and often finds his skin drying out on set.
I start the day with moisturizer, I end the day with moisturizer. I have moisturizer after lunch, I have my moisturizer after morning tea. After everything, really. It's really important to stay moisturized, stay healthy, and stay young.
It all sounds quite simple, doesn't it?
Bit of hair's good on that too. If you want some hair on your watermelon, it's always nice. Cheers for that. I'm kidding. It's my hair. It was red. But yeah, watermelon. It's a great little snack. It's refreshing. It's 90% water, I think.
Lili Reinhart.
Anyone else eat Chinese food in the bathroom? All right.
Lili Reinhart isn't the face of CoverGirl's Clean Fresh collection for nothing. Over the years, she's developed a pretty impressive skincare routine for herself, and it all stems from her struggle with acne. So what did Lili do to get her famous Betty-like glow? Lili says she is very strict when it comes to her skin. It could be the end of the world, and she'd still wash her face. Considering her skin is quite dry, she'd use a beauty sponge with rose water on it to apply her foundation, which makes for a cleaner, smoother finish. And when she feels like her skin is peeling or looking dull, she'll use an exfoliator, especially before she applies her makeup. That way, no dead skin cells get mixed in with the foundation, and her skin has a more porcelain look to it. Just like KJ, Lili is a big moisturizer fan. I'm a big moisturizer girl, she said. It amazes me when people can wash their face and not use moisturizer. I'm a moisturizer girl 110%.
My skin breaks out all the time, whether I'm filming or not.
One of her most important tips for people struggling with acne is to wash your face thoroughly at night, even if you haven't been wearing any makeup. And like Vanessa said, serums can never hurt. In Lili's arsenal, she has both acne and skin brightening serums. When asked about her acne when she was younger, Lili said that her skin was a huge point of insecurity for her. She didn't have massive breakouts all over her face, but she did have cystic breakouts on her forehead. As she puts it, the rest of her skin would be fine, and she'd have a huge unicorn horn on her forehead. In high school, she ended up getting bangs just to hide it, but the bangs looked terrible on her, and she started to feel even worse. These days, Lili mainly breaks out when she travels, which is usually a very stressful situation for her. When this happens, she likes likes to use spot treatment stickers or blemish dots. In the end, her biggest beauty tip is for people to find the right products that work for them. It's a process of trial and error, and you have to be careful not to use too many products at once. When it comes to skincare, it's not always the best place to save a penny.
I think you have to treat your skin like an investment. You're investing in yourself.
Especially as she grows older, it's more important than ever to take care of it. Lili says clear skin makes you feel confident, and a confident person is a beautiful person.
Your face is the first thing people see, and you want it to reflect your inner glow.
Isn't she just the sweetest? Camila Mendes. Unlike her character Veronica, Camila admits that she hasn't always been a skincare girl. She never had any problems because she didn't really wear a lot of makeup before she was on Riverdale. Nowadays, she gets clogged pores and breakouts like everyone else. As a result, she has adopted a very strict skincare routine. She uses good products, gets lots of facials, and sleeps as much as possible.
So my first step is always, of course, to wash my face. I like to use Tracy Martin Purifying Cleanser.
Still, Camila admits her biggest downfall is picking at her spots. She used to have better resistance, but these days, with all the stress of being on TV, she can't resist. That's why she has to make sure she gets as little spots as possible. And the person to help her with that? None other than Lili herself.
Lili teaches me a lot. Lili, my co-star, she teaches me a lot about skincare. She's like an expert, so I definitely go to her a lot for advice.
Despite Lili's advice, Camila says she has to force herself into a routine in the morning. Since she's not a morning person, she likes to start her day with a cup of coffee and a peaceful journaling session. Because this helps her deal with stress, she also experiences a lot less breakouts. When it comes to her actual skincare routine, Camila says she's very conscious of how she's applying her product. She always tries to pat it in, but sometimes that takes too long. She mostly tries to push the product upwards instead of pulling down on her skin. And we all know it wouldn't be a Riverdale star's beauty routine without serums. Like her co-stars, Camila's routine is never complete without a serum. In order for her skin to fully absorb it, she uses a beauty roller to massage her face. She also says that some of the harder days are those she spends filming crying scenes. Her eyes get puffy really quickly, so she'll wake up the next morning with puffy eyes. To battle this, Camila actually uses not only a cream, but also a common household item. Can you guess what it is? Ice! That just goes to show, you don't have to be a star to fight puffy eyes.
I feel my most beautiful when I'm really taking care of myself, mentally and physically.
Madeleine Petsch. If you thought any of the Riverdale stars so far had a seriously extensive beauty routine, you better brace yourself, because just like Cheryl, Madeleine Petsch is about to blow your mind. That's right, the actress has a beauty routine that consists of 38 steps. While it does sound a little extreme, have you seen her perfect skin? One of the most important steps of the 38, according to Madeleine, is always traveling with a candle.
I just feel like it makes me feel like I'm more at home. I'm in hotels a lot of my life. But we're gonna light this baby up, and I like to take my time. If that means I have to take 2 extra hours in the morning, I'm gonna do it.
So what does the candle do? It's mostly there, like she said, to make her feel more relaxed and at home. That way, she can focus on herself and relieve some stress. Another important step, or the first official step, is depuffing. Like Camila, Madeleine recommends ice to do this. She herself has a fancy ice ball she keeps in the freezer. But of course, anything icy will work.
Definitely started to take care of my skin when I booked the show. I feel like when you're on camera all the time and people are just like looking at all of your pores, it's nice to make sure you're taking care of it to the best of your ability.
Of course, another big step is serum. Madeleine uses a vitamin C serum, and like her co-stars, she avoids rubbing her face, but instead lightly pats it.
I definitely think my skin has changed since being on the show. I mean, when people touch your face 24/7, it's really hard to not break out. However, I've started doing my own makeup on the show, and that's really changed my skin.
To Madeleine, sunscreen is non-negotiable. It's the most important step, she says, and she uses a pea-sized amount. My mom has a lot of sunspots from growing up in South Africa, she said, and so does my dad. That's why sunscreen is so important to my daily routine. They're deathly afraid of me getting sunspots. Another small tip Madeleine thinks is super important is always remembering your neck.
Now, I have a neck cream. I'm 25 and I have a neck cream. Just a couple of pumps of that. My mom always puts her products all the way down onto her collarbone.
Of course, you don't have to have actual neck cream like Madeleine, but just remember to give your neck some love. According to Madeleine, she didn't really know a lot about skincare before she went on Riverdale. In season 1, she lived with Lili, and like Camila, Madeleine learned so much from skincare guru Lili.
And so she would extract my blackheads for me, and she taught me a lot about skincare in those moments, so very thankful to her.
Apparently, Lili missed her true calling in life. When it comes to applying makeup, Madeleine has a really controversial opinion regarding the use of a beauty blender. Instead of dampening it like most people, Madeleine keeps it dry.
Now this is strange. I use a dry beauty blender. I think it works way better.
The way she discovered this trick was actually on the set of Riverdale. She accidentally used a dry one on her face one day and found that it applied her concealer much better than a wet one.
Give it a try and then talk to me. If you still hate it, totally fair.
Of course, despite her slightly unconventional methods and very, very lengthy routine, Madeleine has a point when she says she believes there's no such thing as too much skincare. What do you think? Would you be up for trying a few of these tricks? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching!